So you stated you received this the summons to produce on the 10th of October.
Yes.
Today is the 21st of October.
Yes.
More than 5 weeks since you received the summons. And all you had to do was to communicate to your team to tell them to forward the relevant documents requested for in that summons, which you failed to do. Rather, your team wrote to say the minister traveled and that when the minister gets back, that is when we can receive documents. There's a deadline on that summons. If you turn to the, either at the bottom of the first page or the second page, there's a deadline.
There's a deadline.
What is the deadline?
17th of October. I was out of the jurisdiction, but I did instruct my team to do so. So failure to do so was
when did
not
you get back?
Pardon?
When did you get back to the country?
I came back around the 22nd
of
October.
Okay.
And
5 days after the deadline.
Yes.
Technical, please advise. Is my mic working? Okay. All right. Sorry for that. So you got back 5 days after the deadline.
Yes.
And then you did not ask questions or try to ensure that the documents requested for by this committee of the National Assembly was submitted.
Actually,
as requested.
When I requested my team to act on the letter while I'm away, I thought the needful was done until I had a meeting with the investigators yesterday. Oh, no, this
2 days ago.
2 days ago, not yesterday, 2 days ago, on Wednesday. So that's about it. So that's it.
So now I'm thinking you do not hold this committee, or you do not think that this committee's work is important enough for you to confirm with your team when you got back on the 22nd of October whether they have submitted the requested documents or not. And your failure in submitting these documents has obstructed the work of this committee, because now you have these documents with you where you are sitting, and this committee is not privy to them. More than a month we've requested, and these documents are not submitted. You did not try to find out, but the documents requested by this committee of the National Assembly had been submitted. It does not interest you?
Absolutely not. Okay. Quite the contrary. When I came back on the 22nd, I had an emergency and nationally pressing issue of concluding the budget that preoccupied all my attention. And this submission of document was deemed a clerical and technical matter, even though the minister was written to. So I couldn't just go back to that. It didn't occur to me that it was not done. But upon noticing, when I met with the team of investigators on Wednesday, yesterday we sort out the documents, and they are here with us.
I don't think you are grasping the seriousness and the gravity of this issue. Your failure to submit within the deadline or even after the deadline. It does not seem like you do.
If I was within the jurisdiction.
Wait, please don't interrupt me.
Yeah.
I don't think you're grasping the seriousness of the issue. This is the National Assembly asking the Minister of Finance, like all other ministers that have appeared before this committee, or all other ministers that have been written to by this committee and asked to produce documents. If you need an extension, you request for it and you get it. And now the letter that came after the summons, responding to the summons, we said, okay, that's fine. The minister traveled. When the minister gets back, he will submit the documents requested for. You did not think it was important to ask your team or whoever it is that you had instructed to respond to the summons to see whether they actually did provide the documents submitted? Because the failure to submit is wasting the time of the committee. The committee has a deadline that it's trying to stick to, and your failure to submit these documents, especially for this class of assets that the committee is looking into, is obstructing the work of the committee, because now you have these documents that ordinarily the committee should have read. The legal team and the the committee members should have had time to look at these documents. Well, now you bring them here. Now, how do you expect the committee to ask questions or be able to do its work?
Well, I don't think I could put it more directly than telling you I was out of the jurisdiction, and I did instruct my team to respond appropriately. Failure to do so was no fault of mine, and as such is a system. So I don't know how that could be construed as not giving it the weight it deserves.
Honorable Chair, the expectation this committee has for every witness is that whenever a summons is sent, it is adhered to the letter. And where a witness cannot produce what is asked, requested for, or even appear before the committee at the requested time or the scheduled time, then the witness must write to this committee to seek for an extension. If they need clarifications, write to seek for clarifications, or whatever it is that they need in that instance. And like I just said to the Honorable Minister, it seems like the gravity of the issue is something that he cannot grasp or he does not understand. And calling or labeling the request of the committee as a clerical issue is not something I think the committee should take lightly, because other ministers, be it the Minister of Lands, Justice, all other ministers that this committee has written to have provided documents. Not a single minister has told this committee it's a clerical issue. And if you take a look at paragraph 8 of his statement, the minister is telling this committee who it should direct its summons. And when the National Assembly needs information from a minister, it is the minister that from a ministry rather, it is the minister that the National Assembly writes. Whether they were in that position at the time the information being requested for was made by the ministry or not. So I will let the Honorable Chair perhaps come in here and the members of the committee before I can proceed.
Thank you, Counsel. Before I hand it over to my colleagues, if they have anything to say, Honorable Minister, first of all, I will say this committee is a bit disappointed for the fact that a summons was sent to your ministry, I remember in October, around on the 10th, and I signed the summons myself. And a letter was sent to us that you were out of the jurisdiction. Basically, what the committee wanted from you as a witness was for the ministry to provide information for this committee. And that was not specifically about you, whether you are in or not. Like Counsel said, you could have assigned your permanent secretary to provide those documents for the committee, or maybe request for an extension to say, yes, let the permanent secretary write to the committee to inform the committee that the minister is outside the jurisdiction. But once he is back, then we will provide the documents. And when you came around 22nd of October, we were expecting that at least the document would be sent to the committee, and that did not happen. So this committee is not taking an exception for anyone that is supposed to provide document within the stipulated time. We expect you as a minister and any other person who is supposed to appear before this committee to be equal. I mean, the treatment that we are going to give to a witness or a citizen is the same treatment we are going to do to the minister if you are supposed to provide and you did not provide on time. Now that you brought these documents, I mean, our investigators would not be able to analyze the document for us to understand and ask questions. That is going to deter our work today. It means we will not be able to proceed with that because there is no information on the table for the committee. All that we know is the Minister of Finance is appearing before us and he has a statement made, I mean, a written statement from the investigators to the committee. So meaning our question will not only be on the statement, we need other information to be able to align that with your statement and ask questions. So you fail to provide that, it has a very serious consequence. That is a very serious consequence, and I think we wouldn't want you to be an exception. We have done it to other people, and of course you cannot be. I will hold it here unless if my colleagues have anything to say further before.